Hi guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor and your leverage for change. Today I'm going to continue to speak about the narcissist, and today I'll specifically focus on one of their strategies that they use in their toolkit from their toolbox to manipulate people, to manipulate others, to gain power and control over people, because that's their thing. They have a very big ego, huge, and they need supply, which is other people, to provide, to boost that ego or to make them feel good and great and fantastic about themselves. So I I cannot understand how somebody can do this, but all I can say is that this just sounds like pure evil to me, right? But so what does this? Oh, before I forget, guys, I've been recently approved to have memberships in my on my channel. So please click the join button below, and it will give you. It's pretty much self-explanatory. It will give you the 5 different levels that I offer. Right? Some will just be to support my channel and be able to stand out in the chats and stuff like that what we participate in, and others will be more to work on yourself. Right? We'll give you the tools, and also once a month at the highest level there's a once a month meeting coaching with me, so we can discuss all that you've learned from the tools that we provide from the other levels. All right, so go ahead and look in there and see if it's something that you can use, and please I look forward to seeing you in the membership site. So guys, to move forward, we're going to talk about narcissists and one of their the tools that they use to divide and conquer, which is triangulation. So what does it look like? Well, basically they use it to divide and conquer. So basically they're like a puppet, the puppet master at the top, and they just manipulate people in their little box to and pit one person against the other, right? And usually what they do, they create a barrier, such a barrier between the two parties that the parties will not approach each other to really communicate with them to find out what is really the truth. They will just be getting their information from the narcissist at the top, who has that puppet string playing. So they tell this one something, and then they tell this one that this one said this thing, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So the two parties down here, they dislike each other. I mean, they don't like the other person because of what they're hearing, not realizing that they're being played, not realizing that they're being played. They're in this thing, this triangulation play by this, and the narcissist, this person who appears very nice actually and very charismatic. They're usually very charismatic, and that's why a lot of people, that's why they're able to get into people's lives and wreak havoc, pretty much. All right. So, most people don't realize they're being manipulated, and in the meantime, the narcissist maintains control over the interaction of the parties. Because if the narcissist was to allow or if the two parties were to get the idea that they should just go directly to the other person who they're hearing these things, saying these things about them, then that would mess up with the narcissist whole playbook. But the narcissist pit them against each other so much that they grew to probably hate each other, right? And never really, so they're just getting their information from the narcissist about each other. You can see how that works. And guys, you can see this happening all over, in work, in families, in different relationships, in intimate relationships. It's one of those things that the narcissist used all the time. It's basically used, why do they do it? It's used to create chaos by bringing in a third party, fostering alliances with that third party to manipulate or control the party they want to control in the relationship, in an effort to exert power over that party. So if you're in a relationship, like an intimate relationship, they'll bring out a third party either by having an affair, or they can just bring in a third party by talking about them. Say a neighbor, for example, maybe they have a nice, sexy, say this is a man now trying to have power over his female partner, and there's a nice, sexy neighbor. Oh my God, did you see? She looks so good. I wonder where she gets the time to work out so much that she looks so fine. I mean, even after 5 children. And what they're doing is making you feel less than in the meantime, because maybe you have children but you've put on some weight, or whatever it might be. And so they do these things to kind of bring somebody else in. They don't have to even know that they're brought into this triangulation. The person could be a total stranger. It could be someone on TV. Oh my goodness, that person is so beautiful. Look at how gorgeous they are in front of you. So you just know that you feel very uncomfortable, very devalued, right? So they do that. That is how they do their thing, right? So they try to maintain power over you to make them feel like, make you feel less than they are, because they are, as I mentioned earlier in another video, they're at their core, they carry a lot of shame, and they carry a lot of insecurity. So they try and project all of that on you, right? So the next thing that they do is they they basically use one part. Even if a party isn't there, as I mentioned, they will belittle the party that's with them, for example. And even when the party, say for example, they'll go out, and there's going to be, say there's the female is a narcissist. Now she'll go to a party, and then she'll see a nice guy, a sexy guy, or whatever it might be, and if they get to be in conversation, and her partner is there, what she will do is pay excessive amount of attention to this guy, and almost ignoring her partner, right? And just talking about, and just being that, just kind of really complimenting him and saying, how you look so great, what do you do, how many times do you work out? And if the partner tries to come into the conversation, she would try and talk over them. And so at the end of the day, basically the partner is feeling so devalued in that relationship. And that's what narcissists do. So it can be with total strangers at a party, it can be out at the gym, it can be anywhere, guys. They can bring in total unsuspecting people who don't realize what is going on and how this person is playing to have that power and control over you. And what that does, guys, it fosters a lot of chaos. And narcissists love to create chaos. They love to create chaos. They're not happy unless there's chaos. They are creating chaos all around them. And this is one of the ways that they do it, by triangulating people or others that they know or that they don't know. They do it in their families as well. They'll talk about one sister against, with the other sister, and then they'll go back to the other sister and say something else to the other sister and create this infighting in families. The same thing with families. They'll do it also with the parent might do it against siblings as well, guys. They'll talk, treat one as like a favorite golden child and the other one as like a scapegoat. And if there's a third child, they may just totally ignore that one. That child is just basically invisible. And so when these children see how they're being treated, and then the golden child becomes almost just like the narcissist, because they're feeling good because this parent is treating them better than the others, and now they kind of also absorb that type of personality. And then later on, guys, these golden child kind of usually, unless they really have a heart there somewhere and they can realize what's going on, they may in turn become a narcissist going forward, right? So the next thing is they as I say, they'll mention in conversations, the person does not even have to be there. They may have met, both parties may have met someone who and the narcissist is just continuing, my God, they're so smart, why can't you be as smart as, why don't you go back to school, or something, just to kind of, it's like comparing you against somebody else that they think is so much better than you. So you always feel devalued, and it just causes bitterness to rise up in you against someone that does not even know that they're being used as a third party in this triangulation. The other way also is infidelity, of course. They go out and they have they cheat on their partners with someone else. That's triangulating your partner in, because of course, the partner at home now feels as if obviously devalued again and disrespected and all of that. And so this is just another way, guys, that this narcissist individual, tries to maintain, create havoc and triangulate so that they maintain power and control over their partners. Why do they do? Because they revel in power, they revel in control, they need constant validation, attention, and they need to have chaos all around them. They don't feel good unless they're creating some type of chaos. They will do anything to deflect from the shame and the insecurity that they carry around. And a lot of times they deflect by putting that kind of thing on others, so that they create one person who's very good and one very bad, because they have those, like that side of them that they hate, they're ashamed of, and so they will deflect it onto someone else and use them as like a scapegoat about from how their shame, the internal shame that they actually feel and carry around with them. So how do you manage this? If you're being triangulated by someone you see and all that has all the characteristics and traits of a narcissist, how do you stop this? Well, first, if someone is always just talking, and is always talking about themselves, and you can't get a word in edgewise, that's a narcissist. They don't want to hear anything about your life. They are always just talking. You can, and anytime you try and get a word in, they will actually say, "Oh no, wait a minute, oh, that happened to me too," and they'll just take over the conversation over again. It's always all about them. The focus has to be on them. Now, when you have someone like that, guys, if it's someone, that if you do have the time to sit down there and listen to them talk about themselves, and you know what they're about. And I used to do this with a family member that I have. They would just chat about themselves and chat. And I have friends who've told me that they've had friends like this. And as soon as they can't even get a word in about themselves. And that person is always right. They always know everything. It's like if you try to say no, they're just over you, and there's these are people who love to be in control. It's all about them. It's not about anybody else but themselves. Well, if you get to know this and you really can't take this, either you say, when they call and they start, it's, I have something I need to do. I was in the middle of this, or I was in the middle of that. I'll call you back later if anything, or you don't. Or just say, I'm just so busy, let me, I have some things I have to take care of, and that's it, and just get off the phone, or, get out of their presence or wherever it is, right? Just walk away. The next thing you can do, guys, is if this person is talking about someone else, and you see that it's a pattern and it's always negative, not positive, no, not uplifting the person, but talking horrible things about them and trying to get you to take sides, just say, I feel uncomfortable, speaking about somebody else while they're not here. So why don't we have a conversation? Why don't we, all three of us, have a conversation so we can work this out if it's something that concerns you? That will shut them down right away, because they don't want you to hear what the other person has to say, right? They want to be the puppet master, deciding and dictating what you hear and what the other person hears. That's how they maintain power and control. The next thing that you can do, guys, is if if they refuse to participate and say, there's something I need to take care of right now, I have to go. Simple as that. Another one is if you, as I said, if you feel comfort, if they're talking about something behind somebody's back, whether it be your sister, your brother, your cousin, whoever it is, and some family member, just say, what, why don't we meet with them and talk about this, right? Just as I mentioned earlier. Let me see what else I have here. Just refuse to participate. Just say, I don't feel, I'm not going to do this with you because I feel it's unfair when the person is not here to defend themselves. As simple as that. Okay, guys? And just say, I'm going to go now, or just walk away. All right? After a while, they'll get the message and stop trying to use you as that third party to triangulate into their conversations. So, guys, I hope you learned something more about how this triangulation thing, that strategy that narcissists use to manipulate and gain power and control over people, which they call their supply. I mean, seriously. So anyway, so this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor, and your leverage for change. Don't forget to check out that join button for the memberships. And also, please, guys, if you learned something from this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that I can, you'll be notified. Oh, hit the notification bell. That way, you'll be notified as soon as I upload another video. Take care, guys. Until next time. Take care. Bye.